Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to the videos. Another paid request for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for a film called Resurrected from 2023, which is done in the style of films like Unfriended and Searching, where it's all footage from a computer. I'm a sucker for those kind of movies because it's found footage, but not really, and it's a different way of doing it. Searching with John Cho still did it the best, but I did not mind Unfriended, the first one. Missing, the sequel to Searching, I didn't mind that as well, despite some issues I had with it. And this, if you don't like the format, this is not going to change your mind. But this, I thought, had an interesting idea. But there's points in execution I wasn't a fan of. I think some of the acting wasn't the best. It has another lame ending, which killed the movie for me. But you have this group called the Martins, husband, wife, and kid. The husband, which, I mean, he's supposed to be, I would go, this is very stupid, but that's supposed to be the case for the story. He's coming home from like a baseball game with his kid, and he's talking on the phone, and the mom's seeing this from her computer, and lo and behold, the guy's not paying attention, and I think you find out later that he had a bit of a drink or two, which, I mean, that's bad as well, but my issue would be he's not paying attention to the road. But even the mom's going, well, why don't you have the kid in the back seat? And so this father is a horrible father. He's like did everything wrong. He put the kid in the front seat instead of the safety chair in the back seat. He's looking at the phone. He even has the phone like this. And he's driving, but he's like this. So it's only so that the phone will turn and we see that a car is coming towards them. So when the guy turns, they get hit. But like, who in their right mind would be like, okay, here's the phone. I'm driving. Yeah. Ooh, like, that's why it's hard to root for the lead guy because he was so stupid. But because that's the guy who we follow through for the rest of the movie. So I'm like, oh brother. I mean, it wasn't a bad looking shot where we see like the car coming towards them and then hit them, and we see from the mom's point of view of seeing this footage. I mean, for a low budget, it doesn't look that bad visually. I'm not saying perfect, but not that bad. So some time comes about, those two split, understandably. But then the mom gets a message from this priest saying that the Vatican wants to meet with you, and the cardinal wants to meet with you. And the Catholic Church, they have an opportunity for you. And yeah, that's a farm. Sorry for the background noise. Chickens, roosters, all this stuff. Just how it is out here in the middle of nowhere. But this is where the idea I thought was interesting. And for a good chunk of the film, it becomes like a mystery thriller where the Vatican has found a way to resurrect people. Now, they don't offer how they do it. In fact, they don't really tell the mom. They said, there's a miracle. We want to talk with you. And then lo and behold, she does it, and her kid is alive. And it becomes a sensation. And this, to me, was the most intriguing part of the movie, is seeing how all the media on both sides react to the idea of the Vatican Catholic Church having this resurrection thing. and how do people react, and just how much power. Apparently, they love it too. They're crowing about it, literally. Because of this, the Vatican gets so much power that all these rules are put into place. Like, in order to use the resurrection machine, or whatever it is, they don't even say it's a machine, but whatever, you have to convert to get a second chance. And not only that, we have hackers that are computer experts that you have to give all of your info. So if they look into it, if you're a sinner, you can't do it. But if you're bold and true, you're able to do it. And then you see that there's this mass of people converting to Christianity or the Catholic Church, and that they can't even hold it in churches anymore. So there's a VR church where they put VR and there's purposely like these dated graphics. This is like VR sermon. And how there are people who are one life activists going, hey, this is not the way it should be. There's something fishy about this. And again, they're one life activists. And apparently there's people that sneak the dead out of the Middle East because it doesn't follow their religion. They hire ex-hackers to rummage through digital past. Some people saying it's all a scam. So you have your believers, you have your skeptics, you have your people that this is wrong. You have the people that are gung-ho about it. Again, the VR church. Our lead character is now a priest, and he's a counselor for resurrected people. Because when you get resurrected, it's mandatory to deal with a priest and have conferences. How are you doing? How's it going? One guy mentions how me and my wife were killed, but only I was brought back because they looked into her and apparently she cheated on me. But wait a minute, if I can forgive her, how come God can't forgive her? And I honestly wish this was more of a drama than a thriller. Because, like, this whole idea is really interesting. What if some organization had this power? And then you have this power, then how that is manipulated. Just like big corporations. And there's even people question, well, how can the government and blah, 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 how can they allow this? And how come they can't know the secrets? And I think that offer a really fascinating story about, is it right for this one group to have this absolute power and the ups and downs of that? And like maybe the mystery thriller could have been more, I could have dealt with as well if it didn't just end on kind of the, I don't know. Like I said, if it ended differently, I might have actually liked this a bit more. And again, there's little details I thought was interesting. Like, for example, even the priest himself, he has to go to this sort of dark web type. And, hey, this may affect your resurrection eligibility. In this case, looking at cam girls. But he doesn't want to really, he just wants someone to talk to. And then there's little things like if you go on this certain program that allows you to search in safety, it goes like, you may sin in peace. So there's little details like that that I did enjoy and I thought were kind of creative. But then lo and behold, one of the people he talked to and counseled, it's on the news that this construction worker murdered a bunch of people. And you're wondering, was this just an offshoot thing? And the one-lifers will harp on it because they're fanatics. These one-lifers. Or did he go crazy because he was resurrected and something goes on in someone's head? And there's comments about conspiracy, and this priest is kind of told, you need to step away for a bit. Wait, am I going to get fired? He talks with this person. She's a ex-hacker. Now, the lead guy, the first 10 minutes, his acting is pretty bad. When it time shifts up the inciting incident, then his acting is okay. Not great, but okay. I did like the girl that played the hacker. I thought she was likable enough, personality-wise. Not bad on the eyes either. And she helps him out, because the more the guy talks, the more she realizes there's something more fishy going on. There's some nice... The whole thing with doing it like searching, it always fascinated me how they direct all that with all the different windows and cameras. Just, like I said, I appreciate... It may not be original at this point, but it's still fresh enough that I haven't seen it done 100 times. A handful of times I have now, but not 100. So I don't know, if you're not into that format, I doubt it would change your mind, but spoiler alert, from here on out, he does talk to one of the priests, able to get to them, who he doesn't find out there are other people who are resurrected that have done these things as well. He wants to find some answers. He's able to talk to a priest, and he says, are you one of them? And you know what they're planning? Like, no, I don't. And he shoots himself. And so the guy's trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. And Kai goes into, hey, listen, he's looked at it's just a bunch of bad things happening with people. It's just a big series of events. It was one of those things that was kind of hard for me, that the guy kind of was led to believe that, yeah, maybe this is all circumstance and coincidence and bad luck. Kind of hard for me to believe that this guy would be going down that route. But he does for a bit. Until this nice reveal where the hacker lady is going to talk to him, and like the window is blocking. When the guy lets it down, it reveals there's a killer behind him. Wait, watch out! And the guy's getting suffocated until he fights. And you realize that the person he's fighting is this lady who works with the FBI. But is really under the... Well, not even the payroll. You find out she was one of the resurrected people. And then you try to find out that after the guy has to kill her, in self-defense, there's this group called the Warriors of Enlightenment. And how people are resurrected, they have their own forum, which I thought was kind of funny. And although if you hear about the dark web, apparently there are forums on there as well, so to be fair, I guess not as ridiculous as you think. About how there's going to be a mass murder to bring... Because we're going to mass murder on Resurrection Day. Because then those people will be resurrected and there'll be more of our army. But we're doing it to save souls. But that's also a problem because it doesn't go deeper into what that is about. Like, what is the bit that's making these people come back in the first place? Are they coming back and are they possessed? Are they possessed by demons? You don't really get much answers to that. Is it really these people that... Like, why do they come back this screwed up and this messed up, and they seem to be alright at first, but then they go crazy, and some of them I guess jumped the gun. That's why you have these incidents. But I guess, or is it like they saw? Like I say, it's a bit fishy with the explanation on that. But they also don't want sinners coming back. So there's going to be a lot of people dead that they only want the righteous to come back because they want, I guess, a more perfect world with the sinless to be resurrected, but then also be altered in this way. And oh yeah, they're also going to work with hackers to release all the dark web material so that everyone will know who's a sinner and who's not. So that when the resurrection business keeps going, then, well, we don't want the sinners to come back, so they'll stay dead. But the people who are sinless, they'll be resurrected, and then they'll be, because whatever the process is that we never get to know about, they'll be altered. And listen, it's kind of an interesting idea, but there's no satisfying payoff to it. And like a lot of these, I know it's not found footage, but it's in that realm. Like a lot, not all, but a lot of them, it becomes an unsatisfying payoff. Where our lead guy's on the run. He's hiding from the authorities. The lady who's the hacker, she hears something. She hides in this closet. Someone's opened up the place she's hiding, shoots her in the face. Our lead guy tries to contact his son, but his son has poisoned everybody in the house, including his mom, the guy's ex-wife. Our lead terror has been shot. He's apologizing. He dies of his wounds. The son, I don't know, we're supposed to assume that the son feels bad that his dad died. Just like, Dad? Or what that's meant to imply. Because if they're altered, then they would not care. But they do, I don't know. And then all the blame gets put on the lead guy, and that this is just a fanatical group. Which, this was even harder to believe as well. You have this group of resurrected people that went on this rampage and killed, I think they said, 500,000, something like that. And then the cardinal was like, well, this is just this group of, I mean, it's 500,000. Like, okay, if all this stuff gets released and it's all seeming to be this group, the Wars of Enlightenment, this group of resurrected people, which would be easy to realize when there'd be people that, hey, I knew that guy, that person was resurrected. Yeah, I knew that guy too, that person was resurrected too. I knew they were, oh, wait a minute. These are all resurrected people. There'd be this big civil war that would occur from that. Not more people going to the resurrected sinners. But they make it seem like it's the opposite. So that... And that there'd be a lot more people unsure of going to the resurrected because... Or take their loved ones because what if they... Like, there'd be a lot more people questioning things. I know the public is dumb, but even then I'm like, nah. And then the cardinal is, like, denying... And we can't ruin people's ability to have a second chance because of some fanatics. I'm like, this was a small amount. This was a shitload. And the lead guy gets blamed and everyone dies. And the ending just, I thought, sucked. Was not a fan of the ending. I think the plot is interesting. I think the premise is intriguing. Some little details, the world building. Again, the lead guy is okay, although I think a better actor could have been found. I like the hacker lady. Even the mystery is somewhat interesting, but if it was more like Searching and less like a typical found footage movie, I think this could have been a bit of a decent gem of a film. But instead, like if the premise intrigues you and you watch the trailer, sure. But again, for me, the ending I thought was the shits. I don't know what to tell you. That's just my opinion. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.